What's happening? What's happening with it? Y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. And yeah. We gonna cook today. Oh yeah, we definitely gonna cook today. So when you come in the building, make sure that y'all hit my like button and jump in the comments and let me know you're in the building. We got my man John Kramer off in the building. What's happening with it, John? We got my man James off in the building. Yeah. Let's get into it. Let's cook today. I'm not finna be on here too long today because I got some things to do. So yeah, let's get into it. My man Anthony Johnson in the building. What's happening too? What's happening with it? Yeah. Mr. Sheldon, what it do? What's good with it? Picasso, salute. What's happening with it? Cheese All Out Fitness, what's good? Big Drew Titan LLC, what's happening with it? Picasso, yeah, salute to you, Picasso. Yeah, we gonna cook. You know what I'm saying? We gonna cook today. Like I said, I can't be on here for too long today, so we gonna get into it. You know, we gonna get into it. We gonna get into it. Larry Snow, what's happening with it? Ms. Aisha, I appreciate you, Queen. I appreciate you. Yeah. So, like I said, we gonna get into it today. If you come in late, you just gonna have to check the run back. But Javier, what's happening with it? Dwayne, what's good with it? Delaney Fam Sports, what's happening with it? Yeah, y'all hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit that like button so they can get my notifications out and we can get to cooking today. You know, I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in the building, and then we gonna get straight into it. We're gonna get straight into it for sure. Sean T, what's happening with it? Salute. What it do? Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. I ain't got no time to be wasting today. First thing I want to cook on, you know, before we get to the Errol Spence and the Bud Crawford situation and what's going on with that whole situation. The first thing I do want to cook on is early this morning, you know, Amir Khan and Brook, they weighed in. And I had talked about yesterday, the weight that they was fighting at, you know, Cassandra Mason, salute. DJ Black Charm Music, salute. So I had talked about what weight they was fighting at 149 pounds. And me personally, I said the weight was the only issue that I was really worried about, you know, when it come to Kell Brook. That weight, how was Kell Brook going to make that weight? And I said, you know, I was going to be looking forward to seeing how Kell Brook looked in the weigh-in. Now, first of all, another thing I talked about is, you know, was he going to look drained and sucked up, or, you know, how he was going to look in the weigh-in. So I'm watching the weigh-in and I'm watching certain things I want to see, right? I want to see if he's energetic after he weighs in. I want to see, of course, what is the weight that he weighs in at. So he weighed in at 148.5, right? So the weight limit was 148. 149. I'm sorry. The weight limit was 149 pounds. He weighed in at 148.5. Now, I'm looking at his face, and then I went back to the Errol Spence when he weighed in for the Errol Spence fight. His face looked a lot better. You know what I'm saying? He didn't, like, in his face, I want to see if he looked sucked up and if he got bags under his eyes. If his shit is blue under his eyes, I didn't see none of that. So in his face, he looked good, right? He looked good in the face. As far as Kell Brook, weighing in. His body, he always looked good. He was ripped up. His body didn't look soggy or nothing like that. He looked good. So then I want to see, what does he do as soon as he get off the scale? Now, as soon as he get off the scale, they had drinks there to hydrate him. And immediately when Kell Brook got off the scale, he started drinking to get hydrated. He started drinking, I don't know, it was like some shit that looked like Kool-Aid. I don't know what it was. He started drinking that, whether it was Pedialyte, I don't know what it was. He started drinking that. And then right after, he was drinking water the whole time. He's drinking water. So I'm like, okay, he was dehydrated. That let me know that he was dehydrated. He didn't make the weight that easy, because when you go to Amir Khan, right? When you look at Amir Khan, when he made weight, Amir Khan didn't have no water nowhere in sight. Amir Khan got up there and he weighed in at 147, like 147.5 or something like that. So I told y'all, I said, this weight is going to lean towards Amir Khan. That's why he picked the weight of 149 pounds. So Amir Khan weighed under the weight by damn near 2 pounds. So, and he didn't need water. Amir Khan was very energetic. He was jumping up and down. He was very energetic. And then I'm looking at Kell Brook, and although, like I said, Kell Brook looked good in the face, his body looked good like he always does. He actually, when I went back to the Errol Spence weigh-in with Kell Brook, to keep it 100, Kell Brook looked a lot more sucked in the face than he did with this Amir Khan fight. But when I went back to the Errol Spence weigh-in, he was very energetic when he weighed in for Errol Spence. He was pumping up and down. He was slapping his chest. He had energy still. In this weigh-in with Amir Khan, he didn't have no energy. Like I said, he immediately started getting fluids in his system, and he wasn't pumping his fist. He wasn't patting his chest. He wasn't doing none of that. He was kind of just like he was just there. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have no energy in him. It looked like he didn't have nothing left in him. And then I noticed, right? I'm watching everything. I'm watching small things. I noticed he's drinking his water, after they both weigh in, he drinking his water. And somebody in his camp, I don't know who it was, but somebody in his camp, they say, Kell, walk down stage, right? And get in the middle of the stage, walk down past that line in the middle of the stage. And he said, pump your fist up and beat your chest. He said, pump your fist up to the crowd and beat your chest. And then he went down and then he pumped his fist and beat his chest or whatever. But he didn't have that energy in him. So that's one thing I'm gonna be looking at. And it's still concerning to me. Although he looked good, right? His body looked good, but his energy wasn't all the way there after that weigh-in. And Amir Khan, you could tell Amir Khan made the weight a lot easier. Amir Khan was energetic. He didn't need no fluids in his system. And so, like I said, that just tell me he made the weight much easier than Kell Brook was able to make the weight. So just something to look into, just something to look into. I'm still going to pick Kell Brook to win the fight, but I'm concerned. I'm not going to lie. I'm concerned, thinking I'm concerned. I'm still picking Kell Brook, but I'm concerned not knowing that if Kell Brook can take a good shot, and I know and concerned to see if Kell Brook can be strong, in the second half of the fight. It just all depends how he dehydrates himself. How he hydrates back up. If he can get his strength back within these, 30 hours, within because I believe when they announced the weigh-ins, they said it was 30 hours into the fight or something like that. If he can get his strength back, Yeah, I got Kell Brook, like I said. So I'm gonna go with Kell Brook. I'm gonna go with Kell Brook. But as far as the weigh-in on who made the weight a lot more comfortable, you could tell it was Kell Brook. Because when you weigh in and you don't need to look around for water and you still energetic, that tells a lot. That tells a lot. Um, that tells a lot. But yeah, salute. Knockout Boxing 86 TV in the building. G5 Gabe in the building. The Queen, Cassandra Mason, is in the building. Cono Loco Sports is in the building. Who else I miss? My man Batman in the building. What's happening with it, Bat? My man Pac-Man, ATF Tay Jones in the building. What it do? John Kramer. Yeah, so my man John Kramer say he said this is the fight of glass. He said this is a fight of glass. Amir Glass Chin Khan versus Kell Glass Brook, who glass will shatter first. He said whose glass will shatter first in this fight? Yeah, because like I said, as what we seen in the Crawford fight, you could say that about Kell Brook getting damn near, knocked through the ropes with a jab. Yeah, what can you say? So if he goes into this fight with the same punch resistance that he went into the fight with Terence Crawford, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna turn out too well. But one thing about this training camp for Kell Brook, right? And one thing about this training camp is Kell Brook, he actually had his trainer in this training camp, right? For the whole time. Dominique Ingle was with him the whole time for this training camp. And if y'all remember his last fight with Terence Crawford, Dominique Ingle refused to train Kell Brook because he said he wasn't going to train Kell Brook when Kell Brook only had like 5 weeks to train or whatever. So he had the full length that he needed to prepare for Amir Khan to get down to the weight for this training camp. So, gonna be a hell of a fight, y'all. I can't wait. Gonna be a hell of a fight. Yes, sir. Tupac 13. What's happening with it? Dundada, what's good with it? You said Khan gonna send Brook into retirement. Where your bread at? You gonna put some money on that? Dundada, is you willing to put some money on that? Hey, Sneed, what's happening with it? But yeah, y'all hit my like button. I see a lot of people that came in the building, and I see a lot of people that ain't hit the like button yet. So smash on my like button. Smash on my like button. And like I said, real soon I'm about to get into this main topic that we gonna cook on because I don't got a lot of time today. So it's more so I'm gonna get straight to it. Picasso in that super chat say, he is who he said he who throws the first stone in a glass house wins. Hey man, I'm telling you, definitely these fights you ain't gonna be able to blink. Ain't now one of them got no chin no more. Well, Khan ain't never had a chin, and Kell Brook, from what we saw last time, he ain't got no chin. So yeah, 24 Amp, what's happening? DP Rocker, what's happening with it? Yeah. So yes, sir. I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely. But anyway, let's go ahead and get straight into it because I'm not finna waste no more time. Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford, he came through and he talked about what I've been making videos about, what I've been saying for the longest time, right? Terence Bud Crawford, and he finally came through and he stopped all of the bullshit. He stopped all of the capping that him and his whole team been doing, right? He finally came out and told the truth. He said, hey, you know what? I done spoke to Errol Spence on the phone. And one thing I know is that he wants to fight just as much as I do. We both want to fight. And Errol Spence, behind the scenes, he pushing for the fight, but it ain't on him. The reason the fight ain't happened is because of politics. Oh, hold on. Did Bud just say that Errol Spence wants to fight just as much as he do, and Errol Spence been wanting to fight? But we've been telling y'all the same shit the whole time. Right? Now Bud came out and told the truth, but you still got his fucking ignorant ass fans coming out. Oh, he just saying that. He was just saying that because that's what y'all want to hear. He just saying that because he's saying everything correct to make the fight happen. Y'all motherfuckers is special, for real. Y'all a different kind of special. Real talk. Y'all is a different type of special. And get my likes up. Hit my like button. You feel me? Y'all is a whole different type of special. The man come out and he tell you, look, all the bullshit aside, you know what? Errol Spence do want to fight. He been wanting to fight. You know what I'm saying? I didn't talk to him, and I know that he wants to fight as much as I do. Now, this is the thing, y'all. Right? And he came out and he finally owned up and told the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I respect Terence Crawford for coming out, stopping, or at least trying to stop all the bullshit and telling the truth. And not only that, right? Not only that, Terence Crawford told you, well, I knew that your Danish Ugas and Errol Spence, I knew that fight was in play way before, that doesn't surprise me because I already knew they was going to fight. He telling you that I knew that once Errol Spence came off of his injury, it was already basically set in stone that Errol Spence was going to get the winner between Manny Pacquiao and your Danish Ugas. Your Danish Ugas won the fight. So that shit was already in play. So he's basically telling y'all all of that shit that I was doing, screaming out in the ocean, and then my whole team saying that, oh, Errol Spence ducked me to fight your Danish Ugas. Well, I've been knowing that Errol Spence and your Danish Ugas, that fight was already supposed to happen before any of that. He's telling y'all, not me, right? He's telling y'all hating ass fans, basically, that him and his whole team was bluffing the whole time and was lying. They was running with a fucking narrative to make Terence Crawford look like the fucking big bad goddamn werewolf, and to make Errol Spence look like he was a pussy and ducking. Well, he cleared all of that up, right? He cleared all of it up. And Terence Crawford also told y'all, look, you know what? Errol Spence, he been said the whole time that, hey, he was going to clear up his side of the street, and then he was going to get to me, right? He said, now let me run that back. He said, Errol Spence, well, he did say, he's been saying the whole time from the beginning that he was going to do what he had to clear up his side of the streets, meaning get all the belts on his side, and then he was going to come and see me. He says, I'm the type of guy that likes to just go, you know what I'm saying? Fuck all that. I just want to go straight to it. But he told y'all that he was going to clear up his side of the street and then come straight to me. But his fans, y'all, oh, that ain't true. Terence Crawford is just saying the right things because he really wants to make the fight. Once again, y'all motherfuckers is a different kind of special. A different type of special. Y'all a different type of special. Because the man come out and clarify everything that I've been saying, that a lot of us been saying that's watching right now. Right? Everything that Errol Spence been saying. And he went against everything that he had been telling y'all, everything his whole fan base had been running with, and everything his whole camp had been lying to y'all about. He came out and he told y'all the truth. Right? And like B-Dog say, now y'all don't believe your own fucking man. Now Terence Crawford ain't telling the truth now. Let's make this shit make sense. Before, right, when we told y'all that Terence Crawford, you know what I'm saying? He ain't telling the truth about everything he's saying. And y'all argued up and down. Yeah, he is. Terence Crawford ain't never lied. He tells the truth about everything. He ain't lying. Errol Spence is ducking. Why would he lie? Now he come out and he tell y'all Errol Spence ain't ducking. And I knew, you know, what Errol Spence's plan was because he told y'all what it was the whole time. And I knew that Errol Spence and Jordanus Ugas, you know, that fight was in play before the public even knew it, before anything. Now, y'all running around talking about, now he ain't telling the truth now. Now he's not telling the truth. Make this shit make sense to me. Like I said, once again, y'all motherfuckers is a special type of special. On a whole different level. I don't understand this shit. Something is really wrong with y'all. And so, you know, under my comments, under my videos I was putting out, letting y'all know what was going on. Oh, you capping. You're full of shit. Am I still capping? Am I still full of shit when when the fighter himself came out and said everything that I've been saying? Am I still capping? Just relax. Yeah, right. Like my man said, where all y'all dumbass Bud fans, where y'all Bud sexuals at now? Diverse conscience, what's happening with it? Yeah, Mr. Mechanical, it's sad. It's sad that they will go this far instead of just being like, you know what? If Bud said it himself, you know what? We was wrong. Maybe it was, you know. Hey, maybe it was the politics. So Bud, he came out and kept it real, right? He came out and kept it real. It owned up, you know. He owned up and told y'all what it was. But see, this is the problem I have, right? And he also, wait, before I even get there, he also says, you know what? And the politics of boxing, right, is I understand. He told y'all. He said, I understand that promotional companies, whatever promotional company it is, whether it's PBC, whether it's a Top Rank, and all, he said, you can't be, I understand that I can't just be a free agent and go and, you know what I'm saying, fight their best fighter, win, lose, or draw. But he said, I understand I can't just go over there and beat their best fighter and be able to chunk the deuce, right? So what he's telling y'all is these promotional companies are not going to just let me go over there, sign a one-fight deal, right? Get a bag off of them, and then chunk up the deuce and continue to move around like I want to move around. He says, I understand they're not finna let me do that. None of these promotional companies are not going to let me do that. So he talked about, well, you know, signing with a promotional company. And he said, yeah, you know, it got to be right. It got to be a right deal. We got to sit down and we got to talk. So he's telling y'all right now, right? He's telling y'all right now, basically, I already know I'm going to have to sign a multi-fight deal with the PBC. I've been knowing that. But now I see what I really got to do. He calling out Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano winner. They fight on the PBC like I told y'all, ignorant son of a bitches. Yeah, that's what y'all are. Y'all some ignorant motherfuckers, for real. And I'm not holding my tongue back. That's what y'all are. Straight up and down. You can hit the dislike button if you want to because you ignorant, because I've been telling y'all this. Bud Crawford, he gonna have to sign a multi-fight deal with the PBC. He gonna have to go sit down with Al Heyman and politic with Al Heyman and sign with the PBC. or he ain't getting no fucking fights, no big fights. He got to go through the PBC. Everybody he's calling out is on the PBC. Errol Spence fight with the PBC, you ignorant motherfuckers. Jamel Charlo fight with the PBC, you ignorant bastards. Brian Castano fight with the PBC, you retarded motherfuckers. And Keith Thurman fight with he fights on the PBC. You dumb bastards. Everything I've been telling you, that man, he came and told you himself. Right? So all the comments up under my fucking videos that y'all, oh, you just a Terence Crawford hater. You on here capping. It'll never happen. What's going on now? What you got to say that the man came out and told you everything I've been saying and telling y'all for the longest of time, right? Now, my thing, right, and I respect Terence Crawford for coming out and basically, you know what I'm saying, letting it be known what's going on out of his own mouth, right? But see, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. He didn't own, you got to own up to what the fuck you've been saying too. You got to own up to what you've been saying too, right? Because you's a big part of these dumb, ignorant bastards running around here, right, with all these fake narratives because you knew it was a lie the whole time, but you kept fucking running with that shit. You was doing interviews running with that shit. You knew it was you knew it had nothing to do with Errol Spence himself. You knew when you talked to that man on the phone that he told you that he was going to make the fight happen, that he told you that what he was going to do first, and that he was going to come see you, and you knew that that man wanted to fight as much as you did the whole entire time. But you wanted to run with a false narrative because, like I said, it made you look like a fucking big bad werewolf. And you thought it was fucking funny that people were shitting on him and calling him a pussy and a duck and all that shit. Because deep down inside, you was jealous of that man. Deep down inside. So that shit, it did something to your soul to see him get shitted on. The whole time, he wasn't worried about you. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't caring about what fans were saying about you or what they weren't saying about you. He wasn't tripping on none of that shit. My man Smooth Groove Boxing off in that super chat coming through showing love. He says everything boxing. He said everything that Bud team put out was BS. They should apologize to Spence for all them lies, and Bernie, the guard dog, need the muzzle slapped off him. Right. He said money. He said Bernie, the guard dog, need a muzzle slapped on him. He said, see you at the fight, my dude. Oak Cliff. Y'all already know. We in that thing. You dig what I'm talking about? We in that thing. And salute once again to my man, straight from Oak Cliff, Smooth Groove Boxing off in the building. And let me get to my man KG. What it is, KG? KG said, yo, what's good? He said, what's good with it? Salute everybody in the chat. Always big fish season. Yes, sir. And appreciate you coming through, showing love in that super chat, KG. And y'all hit my like button. Y'all hit my like button because I'm just getting started. I ain't finished yet. We just getting started. So, and the reason I'm so riled up is because you motherfuckers been lying and running with these narratives the whole time, right? Then, right, like I said, and Terence Crawford is a part of it. Because, yeah, he wasn't saying everything that was out. A lot of that shit was coming from him, from his team. But when he did get on Twitter, when he did get in front of the camera, when he did do one-on-one interviews, he was running with that same narrative. You was running with the same narrative, right? Now, Another part of this interview, Terence Crawford, he says, I want to fight, but I ain't tripping if it don't happen because of my legacy. I already went to 140 and I was undisputed at 140. I've already conquered 147 pounds. Well, you ain't conquered shit because last time I checked at 147, you only fought one top fighter, and that was Sean Porter. Kell Brook was washed up. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you knocked out. You look good at 147, but you ain't conquered no fucking weight division. You got a title, but you got the title against the weakest man out there. Yeah, that man was the weakest link. I can't even think of his motherfucking name. What his name is? Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn was the weakest link, right? But like I said, and you did what you got. You did what you had to do, but you didn't conquer 147. That's what you did not do, right? So yeah, you conquered 140. We'll get that to you, but you didn't conquer 147 pounds. So that's a lie. So you said that I already conquered 140 and I conquered 147 pounds. So when I retire, I'm going straight in the Hall of Fame, and my legacy is sealed already. As far as Errol Spence, he can't say the same. Now you talking on that man again. You always try to big up your shit and downplay him. Well, because he's a man, he been at the same weight division the whole time, and he hasn't done nothing like I've done. Well, he didn't ask you that. He didn't ask you that. All he asked you, Terence Crawford, was, how you gonna feel if the fight don't happen? How bad do you really want to fight with Errol Spence? He didn't ask you to shit on him and try to throw jabs, because I've never heard Errol Spence, when asked about Terence Crawford, say, oh, yeah, well, this and that. That's what I'm saying. That's where the jealousy comes, right? That's why I'm telling y'all, when the man is jealous of certain things with Errol Spence, that's where it comes out, because you can't help but to try to make yourself, look above and then bring him down at the same time. I peep that shit, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's about. But anyway, so, and let me read some of y'all comments real quick. Y'all give me a second. Let me go grab some water real quick, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to read some of these comments, and we're going to continue to cook. All right, we back. So, let me read some of y'all comments, and then, like I said, we're going to continue to cook on this whole situation, y'all. So, Mo L says, if Spencer shark, then Bud the killer whale. Okay. That's cool. I mean, Let me see what I got up in here. Let me see what y'all talking about in these comments. My man Zenith says, as a man, that should be apologies when you lied for years. Don't act like shit cool now, the same fake ass shit. Yeah, but see, that was his way of coming out and apologizing without just coming out and saying, look, I was, you know what I'm saying? I was basically running with a narrative, because that's all it was. I've been told on my videos, if y'all watch my videos, I've been saying this shit. I said the man is running with these fucking false narratives because it makes him look good, right? To the masses. When they was on ESPN calling out Errol Spence saying that he was a fucking duck, and I'm not, when they was on ESPN saying, oh yeah, we know Errol Spence is ducking you and this and that, and he was agreeing with it and running with it. They have a whole platform on ESPN. If you don't know the situation, if you're a casual fan and you're not really following, now all the casual fans, all they know is, oh, who that Errol Spence, that dude that ducks Terence Crawford, that dude that is scared to fight Terence Crawford. That's all they know. So they use that to their advantage to make him look good and bigger and badder than he really is. But the truth will always prevail. The truth will always prevail. And like I said, as a man, as him being a man, right? As a man, he gotta feel some type of way, knowing that he going to fucking bed every night telling a lie, running with a lie in the public. They all duck when Loris Staten says they all duck when and how they're told to move. He says they all duck when and how they're told to move. Broadcast networks run it all. All must be seen. Joe 415 said, you can't tell me if Terence told Bernie to chill out, we wouldn't stop. He says, if Terence told Bernie to chill out, he wouldn't stop. He says he wants Bernie to keep talking shit because he wants certain narratives to be ran with. And then my man, and then let me see, hold on. The Queen Sheena is in the building. What's happening with it, Sheena? Let me see. My man Knockout says, been trying to tell people Spence ain't ducking the fade from Crawford. Now, when Crawford say it, I don't see any of them Crawford channels speaking on it. Sucker shit for real. Yeah, they suckers, bro. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? They not fucking stand up. They not stand up men. They not stand up men. You feel me? That's just what it is. If you can't admit when you wrong, when some shit is right in front of your face, you're not a stand-up man. You're just not. Willis Harris Sr. says, that fool blamed the black community for this shit he doesn't interact with the black community. Well, he also said something to the sort. He said that, you know, when he talked about the politics and the networks, basically, I'm going to sum up what he was saying. He was saying that when it's two black fighters, they don't, basically, the networks ain't supporting it. The networks will make every excuse when it's two black fighters, right? Like himself and Errol Spence. He says that the networks will make every excuse why they shouldn't make the fight instead of why they should make the fight, right? And there was a lot of truth to what he said when he said that shit. Now, let me run that back for y'all that didn't hear that. He says, it ain't Errol Spence that's ever been ducking. Errol Spence wants to fight as bad as he does and always wanted to fight, right? It's one part he said. But then he went on to talk about the politics. He says, the politics of boxing. These networks, when it comes to two black fighters, and these ain't the exact words that he was saying, but I'm going to break it down so y'all can understand, right, what he was saying when he said this, right? he was telling y'all that when it comes to two black fighters, the networks and the promoters, they make every excuse not to make the fight instead of making every excuse and see how they can make the fight happen. Because they don't believe, or they try to make it, right, a narrative that when you got two black fighters in the ring fighting each other, that's not going to sell because their fan bases are not going to buy the fights. And what he said is what you seen Tim Smith from PBC come out and try to pull. Oh, when that's what he was talking about. When Tim Smith came out and said that bullshit that he said when the question was asked about an Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight, and you seen that man make every excuse not to make the Terence Crawford and Errol Spence fight, then to give y'all reasons why they should try to make the fight. That's what Terence Crawford was saying. But see, the thing is Terence, you're part of the blame. Because see, if you hadn't took the other narrative, he's afraid of me, and behind the scenes, he don't want to make the fight, and he ain't trying to push for the fight, and I'm doing this because you weren't doing nothing to push for the fight, right? Because you weren't doing nothing, right? You was telling your promoter to put clauses in your contract that you knew that your promoter had no control of, right? You knew it. And you also knew that as long as you were with Top Rank, that they weren't going to make the effort to make that fight happen. You knew it. When your promoter is saying, who's going to pay for it? I mean, the fight. Who they both are going to want 10 mil plus each. And who's going to pay for the fight? Where's the money? Who's going to pay? When you heard your promoter saying all of that, right? You knew then and there. Your promoter wasn't going to make no effort to come up out of his budget to pay for the fight. You also knew that your promoter was not going to give you, right, the ability to go over to PBC while you was in the contract with the Top Rank and ESPN. They weren't going to let you go over to PBC and work with the PBC to make the fight and then come back to ESPN and Top Rank, nor was ESPN going to let you do something like that because ESPN, right, that's one of the main reasons they wanted you to get an Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight. But when your promoter is saying who's going to pay for it, he's letting you know straight out, I'm not putting no money up to pay for this fight. I'm not putting no money up to pay for this fight. And I don't believe that the fight is big enough, or I'm not taking my chance to work with the PBC to make it a joint venture, right? To make it a joint venture, meaning that what you saw with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. It's a PBC and ESPN broadcast pay-per-view fight. Your promoter wasn't willing to do that. But you never spoke out about that. You just wanted to run with a narrative because it made you look big and bad that Errol Spence was the problem. Had nothing to do with your promoter or ESPN or PBC or Top. It was all Errol Spence. So privately, I don't care if you do it in the public, but privately, you owe that man an apology. Paul Allen said Spence laid out the truth from the beginning, but even said he had a combo with Spence. He said Bud even said he had a combo with Spence, said he want to fight Bud after he gets all the belts. Yeah, and I've been telling people that. Right? Let me get to these super chats and Sheena Queen. Happy Friday to you, Queen. Let me see. Let me get to these super chats. My man Smooth Groove said that's why Bud getting stopped. Let me see. My man Patrick Carrick. I'm sorry, I don't know why I call it man Patrick. My man Paul Carrick. Salute to you for coming a new member of the channel. Man, much appreciated. And let me see what else we got. Let me see. We also got my man Paul back in the super chat. He says, I put Bernie channel. He says, I put in Bernie channel. My bad. He says, I put in Bernie's chat last night that he or Crawford is a liar. Which one is lying? They both was rolling with it. Both of them lying. They both was rolling with it, right? And I'm gonna get on Bernie right now in a quick second. You feel me? And I appreciate you, Paul, once again, man. Much love. My man G5 Gay, there you go. That man, the big speaker for sure. He say, you cooking soul food in this bitch. He says, let's see what the Bud meat. He said, hey, my man said, let's see what the Bud meat mushers gonna say. He says, they still gonna find a way to blame Errol. We know what it is. They already been doing it. They've been saying, oh, Terence Crawford, he was just lying. He just wanted to sound good to do whatever he can to make the fight. I'm saying these dudes is special. They special. They're a special type of motherfucking retarded. You feel me? There's a special type of retard. Now let's talk about Bernie real quick. Let's cook on him. So, as y'all can see on my screen, on the thumbnail, right? And I'm gonna just show y'all real quick. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone to show y'all a little bit better. And I had to take a screenshot of this, right? Because this is after the interview. This is after Bud Crawford is over there doing his interviews and basically clearing the airwaves. This is Bernie's live last night. This is Bernie live last night. This is the title of his live. Spence gets top vote as biggest duck. That's the title of Bernie's live last night. After Bud Crawford then told y'all Spence ain't ducking, you know, I know that he wants to fight and been wanting to fight just as much as I do. He told y'all about what's going on with the politics of boxing, that, you know, these promoters and these companies, when it comes to two black fighters fighting each other, they want to make all the excuses in the world and tell you why the fight can't happen and why the fight shouldn't happen instead of the opposite. And he came and talked about all of that, right? Told y'all I didn't talk to the man. Me and Errol Spence didn't had conversation on the phone. So I know where he coming from. Errol Spence, he's doing exactly what he been telling y'all what he was going to do and what he told me he was going to do. And this dude, Bernie, right? Bernie come out right after all of this shit and tell y'all and come out and do a fucking live stream with a title that Errol Spence is the, what did it say again? Let me see what the title said. Spence get the top vote for the biggest duck. That Errol Spence is the biggest duck in boxing. Hey, my man G5 Gay say Bernie look like an Omaha meerkat. Man, what's wrong with him, bro? What's wrong with him? Because you got to be a special type of special after your man's, right, that you with all the time, then cleared the airwave, and then your silly ass gonna come on air and do a fucking whole live stream talking about the Errol Spence is the biggest duck in boxing. You got to be a special type of fucking special. And see, like I told y'all a long time ago, I said cats like Bernie around, that's the problem. That is the problem why you have Terence Crawford in the predicament that he's in right now, because you hanging around cats like Bernie, right? You hanging around cats like Bernie. This motherfucker won't let it go. He don't know how to let it go. He don't want to hear the truth. The dude don't want to hear the truth. I don't know. That's why Bud, like I've been telling y'all, that's why Bud is in the predicament that he's in now, because he got cats like Bernie, right? Leeching around. And it don't matter what you tell Bernie, he don't want to hear the truth. This man got so much jealousy deep down in him. Like, first of all, see, Bernie, he wants to be Terence Bud Crawford. Bad. He want to be Bud. Right? He wants to be Bud. So the jealousy that Bud has in him, right? The Bud got jealousy in him. But you know what I'm saying? It transfers into Bernie, and that shit is fucking 50 times, right? Bernie has 50 times the amount of jealousy that Bud got in him, because he already want to be Bud. Bernie want to be in Bud's position already. That shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? This man, your man's came out and cleared the airwaves and told the truth. And you still running around here, fucking up this man's business, running around with a lie. Running around with a fucking lie. Now, what if Errol Spence wanted to be petty and said, you know what? And hit up Terence Crawford, right? What if Errol Spence wanted to be petty? Because, see, this is the type of petty I am, right? This is the type of petty I am. And what if Errol Spence, you know, say, man, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to be petty. I'm going to be petty. Errol Spence hit up Bud and say, you know what, Bud? I didn't went and hollered at Al Heyman. I went and hollered at Al Heyman. Al Heyman said, you know what? We gonna make the fight happen. All you got to do is go and sit down with Al Heyman, and you know what I'm saying, he wants you to sign the deal, and we gonna make the fight happen next. But in order to, you know what I'm saying, go forward with that, holla at your motherfucking man's Bernie and tell Bernie, right? Tell Bernie to first go on fucking his YouTube channel and apologize. Go on his fucking YouTube channel and apologize and tell everybody he don't know shit what the fuck he been talking about. Tell everybody he been lying to the world for the past 2 years, and then tell Bernie to come holler at me face to face. Then tell Bernie to come holler at me face to face. And then we can make this shit happen. Go ahead. That's the type of petty I am. You feel me? If Errol Spence want to be real petty, what if he do some shit like that? You feel me? Because now I'm gonna tell y'all, like I've been telling y'all, Al Heyman ain't fucking with Terence Crawford, but it's up to Errol Spence. It's up to Errol Spence, because Errol Spence, he got a good relationship with Al Heyman, and Errol Spence can convince, you know, hey man, you know, do some business with the man. I didn't talk. We want to get this fight done. But like I said, it looks like that now Terence Crawford finally understands that, look, I know what I got to do. I know I got to go. I know I got to go and holler at Al Heyman. I know I got to sit down with the PBC, and I know I'm going to have to sign a multi-fight deal, because every fighter I want to fight is on the PBC. Every fighter I want to fight is on the PBC, and I know what I got to do. And he pretty much told y'all that in the interview when they was like, well, are you against signing with a promotional company? are you going to try to do independent? He said, nah. He said, it just got to be the right deal. You know, I ain't against it. I know that basically, I know that PBC is not going to let me go over there on a one fight, one off deal. I know I can't do that. And I know none of these other promotional companies is going to let me do that. So I know what I got to do. So I'm telling y'all right now, he's telling y'all that he know what he has to do. He know he got to sign with Al Heyman and the PBC. So all of that shit that he been saying before, I ain't fucking with the PBC. I ain't signing. I feel some type of way about Al. And he's saying this shit behind the scenes, right? I don't fuck with Al Heyman. You heard Bomac. Fuck the PBC. All that shit now. You got to actually turn around and you got to do business with them. Because now, see, you shopped yourself to a different promotional company. You can't go to Top Rank. DAZN said no. Triller ain't even a factor no more. Who else you gonna sign with? Who you gonna sign with? Frank Warren in the UK? Who you gonna fight? So, with that being said, you know what it is. So he's telling y'all, I know I gotta sign with the PBC. I know what it is. So don't be surprised when y'all hear Terence Bud Crawford has signed a multi-fight deal with the PBC. Don't be surprised because, like I told y'all a long time ago on the video, for those who remember, on one of my videos I put out, I said Al Heyman's motto is to basically, they got a bubble, right? And everybody that's on PBC in that bubble, his motto is to take care of them so they never, ever even think about having to look outside that bubble to get money. And then everybody that's on the outside of that bubble, his motto is to make them, right? If they want to make the money like everybody in that bubble is making, his motto is to show them that in order to make the big money, you got to come over in this bubble. Because if you don't come over here and fuck with us in this bubble that we got, sorry for you. Sorry for you. That's his motto. Terence Crawford been knowing that, but now he's seeing how it really work. Now he's seeing how it really work. So yeah, you got to come down and you got to apologize, punk. Apologize to that man, punk. You're going to have to apologize. So that was Terence Crawford's way of clearing that shit up in the public, first off. Now he got to go sit down with the men that he got to go sit down with and apologize and clear that shit up with them men. Sheena, salute to the queen, Sheena. She says, right, Bomac is Bud piece of luggage. Nobody wants them. Right. You feel me? So you gotta do what you gotta do at this point, and he know that he gotta do what he gotta do. All that I can retire tomorrow because my legacy. He says that shit because it sounds good. But if you the type of fighter that Terence Crawford says he is and he wants to fight the best, he don't believe that shit that he says. He don't believe in his resume. He don't believe he could not retire tomorrow like he wants y'all to believe and be comfortable because of his accolades, and he think that he done everything in boxing. Excuse me. He don't believe that. He knows deep down that he still got big mega fights that he needs on his resume to be able to retire and to be comfortable with what he's done in his career. So he could tell y'all whatever he want to tell y'all, but he don't really believe that shit. And as far as in And let me say this. If he did believe that shit that he was telling y'all, if he really do believe that shit, well, he not nearly the competitor that y'all think he is. Because a competitor on the level of an Errol Spence and a Bud Crawford, they would never look at that type of resume and think, oh, if I retire tomorrow, I'm comfortable, I'm cool. I didn't know. Nah. Deontay Wilder wouldn't have been able to retire, right, and been comfortable if he didn't have a Tyson Fury, win, lose, or draw, if he didn't have a Tyson Fury on his resume. When you get to that level of the sport and you that type of competitor, you want 50-50 type of fights on your resume. You want fights on your resume that when people look at 30 years from now, they remember you because of that fight, win, lose, or draw. And that's the truth. So when he tell y'all he can retire tomorrow and he don't believe that shit. And the reason I say that he don't believe that, once again, is because I think that Terence Crawford is the ultimate competitor. He is. He competitive as fuck. In anything you see Terence Crawford compete in, he wants to fucking win. And he hella competitive. So it's impossible to be that competitive and to believe that shit that coming out of his mouth. I don't believe it. And he don't either. It just sounds good to the people that don't know no better. And these stupid motherfuckers, they run with that shit. Oh, Terence Crawford, look at his accomplishments. He could retire tomorrow and he could go straight to the Hall of Fame and he'll be remembered. No. Yeah, he might go to the Hall of Fame. Motherfucking Mickey Ward in the tour. It's a lot of, let's say, Sylvester Stallone is in the Boxing Hall of Fame. What the fuck does that mean? Sly Stallone is in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Your legacy is what you are remembered by years and years when you are no longer in the sport. Nobody 30 years from now is going to remember him, right, and talk about, oh, man, you remember that time Bud Crawford fucking went and fought Jeff Horn and beat Jeff Horn? Man, that is a true fucking great fight. That's one of the all-time great fights, Terence Crawford and Jeff Horn. Nobody ain't gonna remember that shit. And I'm just keeping it 100. I remember Evander Holyfield because I can say, man, remember Evander Holyfield when he fought Riddick Bowe? That shit was an all-time classic. Remember when Evander Holyfield fought motherfucking and knocked out Buster Douglas? Or you remember when Evander Holyfield went and fought goddamn Mike Tyson or whoever it was, right? You remember when Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler fought? You remember when Tommy Hearns and Marvin Hagler fought? That's the type of shit that we remember. Right? Those are legacy fights. When was the last time any boxing fan went to the Hall of Fame to check to see who was in the Hall of Fame? Let me know. When has anybody went on here and went to the Boxing Hall of Fame just to check to see who was in the Boxing Hall of Fame? I'll wait. Real talk. When everybody on here, hit my like button. When has anybody on here went to check? I just want to see who's in the Boxing Hall of Fame. When was the last time y'all could say that y'all went and checked to see who was in the Boxing Hall of Fame? Because you don't. That's exactly my point. You don't. Nobody give a fuck about that shit. We care about who you have fought. And what fights we can remember you by. That's what we care about. That's what your legacy is about. That's what the fans want to remember you for. Not because you fucking fought Richard Prude and ain't nobody gonna fucking remember. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna remember when you fought Richard Prude back in nobody is never gonna remember that shit. We remember the big names in the great fights. That's it. That's it. 817, what's happening with it? So this is a fight that needs to be happening because the Errol Spence, that's why he wants that fight. You know what I'm saying? That's why he wants the Errol Spence fight, because he knows that fight, win, lose, or draw. It ain't about winning or losing. You feel me? It's about putting on a great fight and fighting other great fighters. He knows once he fights Errol Spence, now he can comfortably say, you know what? If I retire tomorrow, if something happens to me tomorrow, I will be remembered forever in my career. Forever. I'll be remembered because now I have that legacy fight on my resume. That's it. Zenith 360 says definitely about the matchups. Different divisions are cool, but people don't support fights solely because it's a new division. It's style matchups, right? We don't talk about Roberto Duran because he went, because he went through multiple divisions. We don't. We talk about Roberto Duran because we remember him fighting Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and Iran Barkley. We remember those great fights. That's why we talk about him and everybody else. Because if you go up and down in divisions and you fight fighters that nobody never gonna remember, ain't nobody never gonna remember you for that shit. Real talk. That's just the truth. Mr. Mechanical says, nobody remembers no cab drivers. People got to stop capping. Real talk. And this is not no hate on Terence Crawford. This is just the truth that a lot of people fail to realize. Just what it is, y'all. That's just what it is. Now, what we heard from Terence Crawford yesterday in those interviews that we heard, I think that now, like I said, he's showing that he's leaning towards signing with the PBC, right? He said he was kind of still shopping around, but he know what it is. He's leaning towards signing with the PBC, and if the PBC is willing to sign Terence Crawford, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's all up to now. It's up to the PBC if they're willing to take on Terence Crawford. And it's going to happen. And I like what I heard yesterday because he's finally showing that, okay, I'm going to get off the bullshit and I'm going to start telling the truth for once. Big Brother in Life says people don't even know half the dudes in Chavez Sr.'s record, right? But you remember Chavez Sr., not for all of them cab drivers that he fought. You remember Chavez Sr. for fighting Pernell Whitaker, for fighting Oscar De La Hoya, for fighting, you know, the Frankie Randall, for fighting Meldrick Taylor and Roger Mayweather, and you know, you remember him for fighting the great fighters that he fought. Because if he had if Julio Cesar Chavez had a retired when he was 70 and old, whatever the fuck he had retired at, and he had all them cab drivers on his resume and just retired, nobody would have gave a fuck. Nobody would have remembered that shit. And that's the truth. But y'all hit my like button. Y'all smash on my like button. Like I said, smash on the like button. It don't cost you nothing. It don't cost you nothing to smash on the like button. I got to get up out of here, y'all. Like I told y'all, I wasn't going to waste no time starting the show today. I wasn't going to waste no time cooking because I got something that I got to do. I believe that I know I think Ricky Williams going to be on tonight. I know that Knockout Boxing 86 going to be on tonight. So I'm going to get with one of them brothers because I want to continue to cook on this. So make sure that y'all sub to Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Make sure that y'all go sub to Ricky Williams. Make sure that y'all go sub to G5 Gabe. Make sure that y'all sub to my man Flawless Mentality. Right? Let me find it. My man, Dr. Mark Stearns, Flawless Mentality, and BE hosted by Dr. Mark Stearns to get some real knowledge on your brain, right? And salute to the OG, right? It's going to be a lot of people talking about this shit and cooking on this, right? I had to come on. I had to get the show in today because, you know, I had to talk about this. My man, Lord to the Game Boxing Talk say he just mad it's Al's way or no way. He only okay with being told what to do by non-black bosses. Right. But he's seeing the light. He's starting to see the light. You know what I'm saying? He coming to the light. So, like I said, I like it. I like it. I'm not going to shit on Bud. You know, I like it. I like him finally, you know, manning up and basically telling everybody, yeah, I've been lying. Because he didn't do it in that type of way exactly, but it still take, you know, the type of person that Bud is and the type of ego that he has, it still took a lot for him to come out and tell the truth. So I'm going to respect it. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going to respect it. So I appreciate everybody for coming through. I will definitely try. I'm gonna cook with some of my brothers later on. You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna be cooking with some of my brothers later on. And I can't wait to elaborate on this whole situation and cook with some of my brothers later on today. But I appreciate y'all for coming in. Hit my like button. Everybody that hit the like button, I appreciate y'all. Everybody that came in and showed love and support in the super chat. Everybody that's becoming a member on my channel, I appreciate all y'all. And I got to get up out of here. And y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone, y'all.